What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Pete, and today we're taking a look at the Nintendo 2DS XL, or the new 2DS XL, which is Nintendo's latest iteration of the 3DS family line of consoles. As the name would suggest, the 2DS XL no longer has the 3D stereoscopic screens of the other 3DS systems. It has the same 2D screen that you found in the previous 2DS console, only this time it's the same size, 4.88 inches, as the new 3DS and 3DS XL systems. But it doesn't stop there. The new 2DS XL happens to include the faster processor from the other new Nintendo systems, and it also has the C-Stick, the little nub in the top right hand corner, for use with some games such as Smash Bros, or Resident Evil Revelations, or Metroid Prime Federation Force, I believe it's called, which is a somewhat underused part of the device, but it includes it nonetheless, because this system, as it is pretty much entirely the same as the new 3DS XL, bar the screen being 2D. And is that a bad thing? No, it's not. Whilst the 3D on the 3DS was a very cool party trick to start with, and then it became an even better party trick when it gave you face tracking with the new 3DS, it has still only ever been that, a party trick. A lot of the major titles for the system have pretty much stopped using it altogether. For example, the Pokemon games, arguably the biggest games on the console, only use this 3D stereoscopic view in the battles, and the rest of the time it's not even usable, it's not there. So for a rather significant cut in price, you're not losing out on a lot, especially if this is only a Pokemon machine to you. In terms of build and design, the original 2DS was very different. It was kind of like a doorstop, a wedge of cheese. Cheese. In that one end was smaller and it got wider as it went up, and it was just one system. It was chunky, childish, and like a toy, but that was kind of its best characteristic, if you will. Now jump forward to the new 2DS XL, and it shares far more similarities with the 3DS systems, the other 3DS systems, than it did with the original 2DS. It no longer has the wedge shape, and it's no longer one flat piece. It has the clamshell design, like many DS and 3DS systems have had before it. It's available in two sets of colours at the moment, black and blue and orange and white. Unlike the previous consoles, this one has a plastic flap to cover up the game slot, which is also where the SD card now goes as well, so you no longer have to remove the back of the console in order to put an SD card in there, which is a nice touch. What isn't a nice touch, on the other hand, is the length of the stylus, and this one is just too short. That's kind of the only way to put it. It's too small. Once you open it up, you have, obviously at the top screen, which is now measuring at 4.88 inches like the other larger systems before it. But this time, it kind of looks like a phone, but placed into a plastic casing. It's also recessed back, which stops the awkward lines that you used to get from the bottom screen touching the top screen on the other DS systems before it. As you can see, I went with the orange and white system, and I particularly like that the buttons are the same colour as the border around the edge of the system on the outside. Perhaps the most peculiar choice in the design of this system is in its hinge, which has proven to be quite solid and a bit less flimsy than some of the previous ones, but it really sticks out. It's like you've put a pen just on the back of it. Another somewhat perplexing choice is to have the speakers, both speakers left and right, on the bottom left and right hand corners of the device, which unsurprisingly is where your hands sit when you're holding it, which doesn't seem particularly well thought through, if you ask me. Because it has the faster processor of the newer systems, you do have the option of playing Super Nintendo games from the eShop. You also have the option of playing things like Xenoblade Chronicles X, Smash Bros will run faster, and Hyrule Warriors, that will run significantly better on this system as opposed to the old 2DS or the old 3DS or anything before the new systems came out. In truth, of all the systems I've used, this is actually the most comfortable 3DS to date, and is just a lot lighter and easier to hold and play with. Now, if you own a Nintendo Switch, do you need this device? If you're only really using your Switch plugged into the television, and you do want a handheld to use on the go, but you don't want to take the Switch because it did cost you quite a lot of money, and you're kind of happy using that in handheld mode on the couch rather than on the train, then yeah, I think this is worth your time, because it is very enjoyable to use, and at the moment, it costs $129.99, that's GBP, Great British Pounds, brand new. Now, to put into context how cheap that is, it's not pennies, obviously, but my microphone cost more than this system. My keyboard cost more than this system. My capture card, more than this system. I mean, you get the idea. Most of the tech that I have cost more than this, and I've used this more recently than any of those. Quite a lot more, in fact. This, for the price, is extremely well built, has absolutely tons of games, tons that you can play, with more coming out, and it's really comfortable to use. This is, unless you love the 3D, which I don't think anybody does, the most comfortable and the best 3DS system to date. Price wise, quality wise, and just ease of use wise. If you've been tempted by one of these systems and haven't quite gone out to buy one yet, but you're thinking about it, do it. There's good games coming out, there's tons of good games already, and it's really worth it. It really, really is. As always, thank you very much for watching. I've been Pete, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. If you really, really enjoyed this video, then why not subscribe? Thank you for watching.